Hi, y'all. Hey guys, it's Mike.
Hi, it's Paulina.
And today we got a special episode. I know we haven't loaded a video in a while. So today we got a good one for you. A lot of people have been asking, like, what's it like to live in a shipping container? They even say they're looking to do it. So we wanted to put a list together of what we like and what we don't like. It's really specific to how we're living in it. You can do plenty of things with these that, modify them to get around some of the things we didn't like. Before we get into this video though, I want to thank all the new subscribers. Even though we haven't been uploading, we still got a couple hundred new subscribers, so thank you. And for anyone that hasn't subscribed yet, you should, because we have a lot of good videos coming up. We just upgraded our water system, we upgraded our solar electric.
We painted the inside a little bit.
Yep, we're doing some modifications inside, nothing crazy, but all interesting things that you might want to learn about.
We've been living in this shipping container for about 6 months in total. And for us, it's kind of functioned as a transition into this off-grid lifestyle, because we had the land, bare land first, and the shipping container was kind of like a really quick way for us to start living on the land and keep everything safe and secure while we were gone and stuff. So this isn't like, I wouldn't say a typical shipping container home, because they come in all different shapes and sizes, like people do whatever they want. But you might think that like if you have a shipping container house, it's going to be like kind of just like a house, whereas ours is kind of just like a shipping container that we're living in. So this is what this list kind of pertains to, and we'll talk about all that stuff. So the number one thing that we took into account that would be considered a pro is that the shipping container is fast, in a sense that it's already made and it's already a secure structure that you can pretty much move into right away. And when we first got to the land, we were living just under a tarp because we didn't have like a house or anything, so it's bare land. We set up a tarp, and obviously it's really rainy here in Hawaii, and everything got super wet. We were pretty miserable, like when it was raining for days and days on end. So we needed something really fast, and our option was to just get a shipping container for many other reasons, obviously, that we're going to list, but the fact that it was fast and that we needed to keep our stuff dry right away was really important to us. So the shipping container, I consider it like a giant, ultra heavy tent that you can live in and feel secure and safe. So we didn't do this, but a lot of people would consider putting all their belongings that they want to move into their new property and putting it in a shipping container, and then transporting it to the property and being able to live in the container right away. So that's also like a really fast way to have a home, if you're not gonna wait to like build an actual house out of wood and all that stuff.
So number 2 on the list is security. Obviously you can lock this up, close it, lock it up, and go. For us, being that we weren't going to stay here year round, we needed to leave to go to the mainland. To be able to lock this up and leave for 3 months, and it's relatively safe. You could still probably break into this, but we have neighbors on both sides, and if anybody were to try to break in, it'd be pretty loud. And also, even just to go out on a date, like to the grocery store or something, this isn't the best neighborhood as far as being safe, because there's sometimes like meth heads. There's meth heads that roam the streets here. So to be able to lock this up and not have to worry about it is a real bonus for us. So this isn't something that comes on shipping containers. They add this after, like if they plan on renting it out and leaving it on property. Because if you were to lock it just on one of these, someone can easily cut this, but to get into this is a lot harder. So if you're gonna get one for security, I'd recommend getting one with a lockbox on it. And I'll show you how that works. Put the lock in there.
then our third pro for the shipping container is that it's fairly inexpensive. And it would be way more inexpensive in the mainland or other parts of the world probably, but here in Hawaii it's like double the price, but it's still pretty inexpensive and it was pretty affordable for us at the time. So it was a great option other than doing some other stuff that would cost probably way more money to build and more time. So the shipping container that we have is a 40-foot long container with doors on both ends. And it's just like a regular height, so it's 8 feet tall by 8 feet wide. And that cost about $4,500 for the container itself. It's used, but it's in fairly good condition. And delivery was an extra like $900.
Number 4 on the list is that it's mobile. Say we were to not like living here anymore, we could just hire somebody to come pick it up and they just strap it onto the truck and take it to the new place, wherever we move. Or say we build a house finally and we want to sell this, then we could just have somebody come and pick it up and then they could bring it to their property and live in it.
And then a little bonus, which isn't really a pro, but it's a little bonus, is that since the walls are all made of metal, we get to use magnets instead of nails and screws to like put stuff up, like this calendar. Just hook it up like that.
So I think pretty sure no matter where you live, you're going to have the same problem with this living in a container, and it's the temperature, whether it's going to be too hot or too cold. For us, it's actually both. It's too hot sometimes during the day, and then at night it's really cold. So we get things like condensation on the inside, and sometimes it's so bad it drips onto the floor. But this is the south-facing side of the container, and the sun comes up in the morning and it really heats this up, and the inside gets hot and it's no good. So there are ways to fix this though. Obviously you can put insulation, but I still think that maybe the insulation, it would get condensation inside and get moldy, so I'm not sure how well that would work, but I don't have experience with that, so I can't be sure. There is a pro maybe to the heat. In the morning sometimes when we're cold, we come out of bed, and sometimes we touch the wall and it feels nice and warm. But you know, and other things we've done is dry things on the side of the wall where it's hot. We put our towels and they dry quicker. We've dried our Mac nuts there. We put them close to this wall. So even though it's a con, we have worked some ways to make it somewhat of a pro. So the shifts in temperature here aren't really that extreme. During the day it could be 80 and at night it could be 50. But I know in other parts of the world it's probably way worse. So you might even have more trouble with the temperature than we do.
So the second con would be that this metal structure is very loud. We don't have a roof over it. It's just the bare metal. So when it rains, which is very often here in Hawaii, especially in the winter, in December, it just downpours all the time. It's just super loud and the raindrops are like and unless you get used to it, which we have gotten used to it, you probably couldn't fall asleep at night with that loud sound. And we only have half of the container covered with the carport, and the rest of it is pretty loud. And also just like twigs and stuff that fall or make loud noises, and even when the metal like expands and contracts, it makes like this popping sounds. The other part of the acoustics is that if we're inside like talking or doing whatever that's loud, you could hear it pretty loudly from outside. It like amplifies the sound. And I don't know, it's just really loud. If you were just to like touch the walls, it's like so yeah, it's like loud. We're talking and we're yelling at each other when Pauline is having a crying fit. It's just so loud. The neighbors know everything. So the third con would be that the floors are not the best. Why? Because they are treated with harsh pesticides, according to some online research. This particular container, the pesticide is called Meganium 2000. And because I am kind of like health conscious, I wanted to find out about it. And it turns out that chemical is not highly ranked as carcinogenic, but it could potentially be dangerous. So that's kind of something that kind of scared me to be sleeping in here and living in here, but I haven't really found any adverse reactions to living here other than the fact that I got Lyme's disease, but I don't know if that's related. But yeah, the options would be to have the floors removed and put something new in, or I think some other people do like an epoxy cover all over the floor so that the fumes don't come up. Yeah, we just finished the floors with a clear coat and painted the metal part, which is also kind of like a con because there's a metal part of the floor and it gets really cold, so if you're stepping barefoot, your feet will get really cold.
So number 4 on the list, and the final con, is the fact that this is a shipping container and it's not really made for people to live in. So it could be a challenge to run wires in here and build inside. You have to figure out like creative ways to make walls. So just to put this light in here and get electricity from this side to that side, I've had to put a soffit in. And, you know, it's not much of a challenge, but it's something that you ought to think of if you're looking to build a house out of one of these and not really go all out and build walls inside, because that could be just as expensive as building a house. Also, it's a weird dimension, really. It's only 8 feet wide and it's 40 feet long. We've had to put the bed here, and we have a small walkway on the side to get through to the other side. Our kitchen's there. Like, it's a little weird having to figure out how to set up the inside because of the length. Because I'm not familiar with working with metal too much, it'd be a real challenge for me to build windows in here and stuff like that. Not that we'd want to, because we want to keep it secure, but anybody thinking about like turning this really into more of a house and maybe stacking 2 together, you got to think about it's all metal work, and if you're not handy in that department, it could be a challenge.
Okay, so that's our list of the pros and cons of living in a shipping container home.
Thank you guys for watching. I know this may be an important video to a lot of you, so I hope it helped in any way.
Yeah, we wanted to make this video for just like the typical person that wants to kind of DIY their own shipping container home. It definitely doesn't apply to somebody that has like a professional architect and all that, making the house really like glitzy and glamorous. So yeah, we just wanted to put it out there, like if you don't have much money and you want to live in a shipping container home, these are things that you should consider before you do that. Give us a like if you want to see us make more videos in the coming year. We kind of slacked off a little bit towards the end of this year, but we definitely have a lot of things happening soon and we want to make more videos. So like this video if you want to see more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Alright guys, so that is our list of pros and cons of living in a shipping container. Obviously, there are better ways to live.
Okay, so that's our list of shipping containers. Just don't live in a shipping container. It's not nice. It's not. We want a nice mansion, but we have this. That's all we can afford. Save your money and buy a nice house. Don't be poor like us.